This is the CJ Silas Show. She's been talking sports for over half her life. You'll hear big-name guests and all the hot topics. Her roller derby sisters call her Dodge Her Blue. CJ's proud of her California roots and time in New York. Born and raised in L.A., college at USC and Syracuse University. She's not afraid to share her opinions with you. And, like it or not, she wants to be the change. Ladies and gentlemen, all ears and no mask required. Here she is, CJ Silas.
Hey, welcome in live and direct to the CJ Silas Show studios at ESPN Radio, The Ticket in San Luis Obispo, California. We are on the AM 1280 dial. And if your car doesn't have AM anymore, which is a reality, FM 101.7. And if you don't have a radio that has a dial in your car and you always listen to podcasts, you can do that too. Just go to the CJSilasShow.com or Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's pretty much everywhere. We're working on getting it on Pandora. That was Gabe's project. We need to check. We need to get on that and see what happened with Pandora. We're also working on. This is so weird. I've been doing this for so many years, more years than I haven't, and I don't have a Wikipedia page. So we're working on that. Amanda is working on that while we work on Pandora. And also, another thing which is crazy, and it doesn't matter to me, but it matters to all my interns, is getting a blue check mark on Twitter. I don't even care. But my interns are so fired up. One of them said, I am not going to graduate until you get a check mark on Twitter. Like, well, you know what? I have my own internal check mark. I am pretty present and knowledgeable of what I am and what I've done and who I am and all the years and all the commitment and all the credibility and all the garbage that I dealt with. I don't need my blue check mark on Twitter because I have my own imaginary blue check mark in my brain and in my heart. But it's cute to see how my interns are so passionate about certain things. It's a busy day on the CJ Silas Show. It is a holiday week. I don't use the word the holiday is called. I'm just glad we're all getting together and having a meal because I think the holiday is a bunch of crap. Just saying. The historic story of this week's holiday is a bunch of BS. The good news is it gets people together full of love and lots of delicious food, and it makes a lot of us that don't do it regularly stop and find grace and be grateful and thankful and move forward from things that might have been bothering us before now and then looking forward, finding things that we're thankful for. I've got a thanks to the sports world list. That's what I call it. And we were trying to figure out a snappy way that we were going to describe our list or give it this phrase, because if you send your sports thankfulness to the CJ Silas Show email, CJ at the CJ Silas Show, or you go to the Instagram page and just make a comment, your name goes into the hopper. And the hopper's getting pretty full. As I say every week, you never have to worry. Your name stays in. And if you want to continue to answer these questions, you'll get your name in another time. And the hopper is really full. Like, it's so full, you can hear part of it. That's part of it. Here's some other parts of it. The hopper is sitting in front of me because it is the last... Is it? It is. It's the last Wednesday of the month, which means we are picking a name tonight to find a winner for some of CJ Silas Show merch. I'm going to share my thankful list with you in a minute. We're going to do Black History today. We've got Rafael Esparza from my bookie and Mia Armstrong. This chick is a bad MF. She is a bad mamma jamma. She is a badass goddess, and she is coming in studio. I saw her story in the New Times recently, and she's a former competitive dancer who had illnesses that forced her to use a wheelchair. And now she's using that wheelchair to create awareness and advocate for better accessibility all over the world, not just to get into restaurants or a ramp up to the post office. She's created this incredible Instagram page. It's Mia Disabil.tea. Mia Disabil.tea is her Instagram. She's using this Instagram page and a social media movement to encourage, establish, and enlighten the world, empower the world on how people that don't walk should still be able to go out and do fun stuff. And that's what she's doing with her life. Is she's creating not just awareness, but energy and passion around being able to go places that maybe people that don't walk can't go. And she's going to come in and she's going to share her story. She only 6 years ago ended up losing all of her motor control and in a wheelchair. She was a competitive dancer. She started when she was 2. We will talk about that when Mia Armstrong comes in studio. I feel really honored and blessed that she's taking time out of a holiday week to come into the CJ Silas Show studio. I also have in front of me my production crew's thankful list. So let's see. Since Raphael is the one intern that lives locally and is here on time, his thankful list, it's his sports thankful list. Well, why don't you read it? Because you're here. Do you want to read it? Do you have it in front of you? Okay, get yours out. And let me read Gabe's while you find yours and you get your microphone. Gabe wrote a book, by the way. Gabe is one of our newest production interns, and he wrote a list of 4, but then he gave long diatribes about why. So I'm going to have to tighten it as I go. I'm thankful for the full off-season program that teams went through this year, notably in the NFL. With injuries in the sport, and the only common factor between all the injuries were how early they occurred in the year. Players didn't have a proper period of time to tune up to game speed. Okay, that's all he gets on that one. There's another paragraph. Number 2, I'm thankful we were able to have an Olympics. That's one of mine this year. It was in doubt all the way till a couple weeks before. He's right about that. He just stole one of mine. I'm thankful for the CJ Silas Show for giving me the opportunity to see sports from a different perspective. Instead of just getting excited by the storylines related to my own teams, I look at the sports landscape more holistically to find the most important storylines to the listeners, not just to me. Wow, that's provocative. We could use that on a shirt. And Gabe's last thankful sports moment is being behind the scenes and learning and seeing what behind the scenes personnel you do they don't get any of the credit in sports, professional teams, the training staffs, the scouts, all of the doctors who take care of the highest level athletes, all of those individuals who you never hear their name. He got a little lovey on that one. AJ, I'm thankful for my family and friends. I'm thankful for sports and how it brings together people of all backgrounds. I love that one. I wish I'd thought of that. I probably have used that in the past. I'm thankful for the ESPN team at the CJ Silas Show for making my intern experience unforgettable. Come on, you guys are going to make me cry. Okay, so I'm turning on your mic off. You ready? You can take your mask off just while you read your little thing.
Yeah, so I'm definitely not going to top them. But my first one was I'm thankful for fans back in the stands, professionally and especially at Cal Poly.
Yes, that's one of mine too.
Yeah, because it's great. I love seeing them, and the energy is just amazing.
Yeah.
I'm thankful. This is personally biased for me. I'm thankful to have seen both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo play at the same time, because you never get to see that twice in a lifetime, I think. 2 great players. I'm thankful for sports being an outlet for people to get together, just like AJ. And I'm thankful for the opportunity that sports allows many people to express themselves, whether it be in any way they want. So
I love it.
Great.
I have the fan one too, and it really came to light for me last night when I went to see the Cal Poly women's basketball game take on Louisville. It was the first game I've been back inside Mott Athletic Center with anyone, because I went last year and it was just like 10 of us, all media just scattered around. I still sat away from everyone because I'm paranoid and I think there's too many crazies out there. And I had my mask on the whole time, of course, and I didn't eat any food. I just kept to my little self with one of my interns, and I loved it. And so that's one of mine as well. Here are a couple of mine. I am thankful that the Miami Dolphins did not acquire in any way, shape, form, through a trade or a signing, Deshaun Watson, which also makes me thankful that after over 40 years of being a fan of the Dolphins, I don't have to go out and find a new NFL team, because that was just very stressful thinking that I might have to after all those years. What am I going to do with all the Dolphin merch and all my Dolphin sheets and my Dolphin beanbags and my Dolphin posters and my Dolphin towels? What am I going to do? How am I going to handle that? So I'm so glad that the Dolphins did not pick up Deshaun Watson. I'm also extremely thankful that the Astros and the hated orange and black, neither of those teams won the World Series, even though the Dodgers did not. Like others have said, I'm thankful that we had an Olympics safely, as safe as we could, for the athletes mainly. I mean, I enjoy watching the Olympics, but I just think after waiting a whole year, having that not happen would have been really difficult and painful for those athletes. I'm also quite thankful that Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka have stepped forward, along with Kevin Love recently, to talk about the issues surrounding mental health competitive athletes have and deal with. Good, bad, ugly, and a lot of difficult things. It's a new conversation that I'm thankful that we are having, because if I had said it, it wouldn't have really made much of a difference in the world. But when big name athletes and very successful, respected athletes talk about it, it really helps. And I'm thankful that y'all finally saw the true colors in what people call Urban Meyer. I don't even know if he's a real human because he's such a piece of crap. But he showed his true colors again and again and again, and I'm thankful that people are finally seeing it. This time it was on video. That's all. Oh, one more. I'm also kind of thankful recently that LeBron showed that he's not a sissy. Just saying. I mean, I didn't think he was a sissy because I really respect him, and he's one of the most incredibly intelligent, high-level athletes I've ever seen, who also makes a difference and doesn't just talk his game, he actually does things. And so it was really nice to see him on the court kind of just be a little bit scrappy. I was hopeful, and I'm thankful that I got to see that. That is my thankful list. What is yours? Rolf, you want to say something? Oh, thank you, Rolf. He's like, turn off my mic so I can cough or fart or whatever he had to do. I want to give you the opportunity to share your thankfulness, your sports thankful moments with us. Just go to CJ at the CJ Silas Show. We'll put your name in the hat. Or you can also go to the Instagram post and do it there. At the end of the show, please don't let me forget. After Rafael Esparza, when we do the Cal Poly and Hancock and Cuesta sports update, please make sure that I announce our winner for the month of November. It is Black History Month on the CJ Silas Show for life. I gotta name it something else. It's just Black History. We're celebrating it. We're celebrating Black and brown people in the world that have made a difference and changed the world. It's really cool that we've been doing this because I've learned a lot about some Black and brown people in the world that have done incredible things, and I didn't know about it. Like this woman, Shirlane McCrae, who was born November 29th, 1954, an American writer, editor, and activist. She's married to New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, has been described as de Blasio's closest advisor. She published an essay in Essence in 1979 entitled I Am a Lesbian. Essence later described the essay as groundbreaking, asserting that it was perhaps the first time a Black gay woman had spoken so openly and honestly about her sexuality in a Black magazine. Shirlane McCrae chairs the Mayor's Fund to Advance New York City and leads Thrive NYC. She's also published poetry and worked in politics as a speechwriter. Allison Felix, one of my absolute favorite humans in the world of sports, born on November 18th, 1985, at 200 meters. Check that out. She's the 212 Olympic champion, a three-time world champion, 2005 to 2009, two-time Olympic silver medalist, 04 and 08, and the 2011 world bronze medalist. She played a key role on the U.S. women's relay teams, winning 6 additional gold medals in the Olympics, 4 consecutive medals in the 4x4, 08, 12, 16, and 2020. She won 2 at the 12 and 16 Olympics in the 4x100 meters. The 2012 U.S. Olympic 4x100 meters team also set the current women's 4x100 meters world record. With 6 golds from team relays and 1 from an individual event, Felix became the first female track and field athlete to ever win 7 Olympic gold medals. Allison Felix currently holds the title of the most decorated athlete, male or female, in World Athletics Championship history, with 18 career medals, 7 from individual events and 11 from team relays. Felix, along with Elijah Montano and Kara Gauscher, credited for stirring public outcry over Nike's refusal to guarantee salary protections for its pregnant athletes, prompting the sportswear brand to subsequently expand its maternity policy in 2019. Allison Felix is a 5-time recipient of the Jesse Owens Jackie Joyner Kersey Award. It's an accolade given by USA Track and Field to commend the chosen athlete of the year, Allison Felix. Oscar Robertson, born November 24th, 1938, played point guard with a 12-time All-Star, 11-time member of the All-NBA team, and he was a winner of the MVP award. In 1962, Robertson became the first player in NBA history to average a triple-double for a season, the only player in history besides Russell Westbrook. Oscar Robertson's playing career, especially during high school and college, was plagued by racism. Robertson is a 2-time Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame inductee, having been inducted in 1980 for his individual career, and in 2010 as a member of the 1960 United States Men's Olympic Basketball Team and president of the National Basketball Players Association. He also was voted one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history in 1996. In 1997, Oscar Robertson donated one of his kidneys to his daughter, Tia, who suffered lupus-related kidney failure. He's been an honorary spokesman for the National Kidney Foundation ever since. Oscar Robertson. We celebrate black and brown people in sports, in civil rights, in history, in politics, in music, in television, and in the world, shaping the way our country is today in 2021. And every week on the CJ Silas Show, we celebrate black and brown people that have been honored and celebrated behind the scenes, but we're doing it here on the CJ Silas Show every single week. Coming up in the CJ Silas Show, I'm actually a little nervous. I get nervous and excited when I talk to people that I haven't met, but also people that I think are better people than me. And I think what Mia Armstrong is doing makes her such an incredible human. And she is under 20 years old, and she's making a change in this country that is so important and so relevant. And right now is the time that it makes me a little nervous to talk to her because I am so honored and impressed by who she is. And I'm looking forward to getting to know her. She's coming up. Rafael Esparza from MyBookie and your Cal Poly Sports Update. I do want to thank my partners, Gymnazo, dentist Dr. Daniel Lapidus and Larry Ackerman, dermatologist Dr. Brad Kurgis, the Slow Wellness Center, the Avila Bay Athletic Club and Spa, Michael Moore Sports Recovery and Joy, Shell Beach, California Fresh Markets, where I shop in Pismo Beach on 5 Cities Drive. Full Thanksgiving dinners that you can pick up tonight. And I think they might be open and have them available for walk-ins tomorrow as well. The best. They're doing the same for the Christmas holiday. It's the CJ Silas Show. If you can't listen to us live on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, please check out my website, and you can find my podcast wherever you find yours. Mia Armstrong, a badass woman, coming up on the CJ Silas Show on ESPN Radio 1280 AM and FM 101.7, The Ticket.
Welcome back to the CJ Silas Show. From her perch atop Madonna Mountain, let's hear it for CJ Silas.
Welcome back to the CJ Silas Show. I said this earlier, and I know it might sound kind of weird, but you know, I'm a pretty transparent person. And there are people on the planet that do so much better for the world than me that they make me a little uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable bad, just kind of like excited. And this woman who's sitting across from me for the first time and is even more radiant in person with her shining rainbow light around her is just an incredible human. And I'm not even going to tell her story. I'm going to let her tell you her story. Her name is Mia Armstrong. She's 18 years old, and I am so glad to have you in my studio. Welcome in.
Thank you for having me. I've never really done anything like this before, but I'm super excited.
So I read your story in the New Times, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to let you tell the story. So I did give a little background. You were a competitive dancer. You've been dancing since you were 2 years old. You did national competitions when you were 12.
Oh, yes.
And there was a time in your life where physically you just started to crash. So go back to that time and just share with the audience. And we have time, so don't feel rushed. We really just want to hear the story.
I was training like any other competitive athlete. It was intense. I was 12, but it was 6-7 days a week, 5-6 hours a day. We're in Vegas for pretty much our biggest national competition ever. when things really crashed. We didn't know what was going on. I hadn't had any health issues prior, and everything kind of hit at once. I was passing out, sick at the competitions, just could not keep going. And the second we got home from that, my mom took me into Valley Children's. And they kind of had the reaction of like, oh, there's no way it could be this bad, because if it was, you would be like passed out. You wouldn't be talking to us. And then they ran it again. And 50 doctors come in at once, tell you all what's wrong, and starting in on everything.
And you were?
I was 12.
12.
So that kind of started that summer of, we didn't know exactly what happened, but we were able to get back to a steady point with my health, got my hemoglobin back up. That was the big issue. And then for a few years after that, kind of steady, chronic issues continued, but found a good, healthy balance of whatever it means to like live with chronic illness, whatever type of balance that means. And then about a year ago, I started experiencing more issues, more chronic issues that came on, lupus related, RA. So everything kind of started flaring up and changing again. And then this past May I had a lupus flare, an RA flare, pretty much the biggest thing that's ever could have hit all at once, and I ended up back at Children's over in Fresno and stopped being able to walk. That's where this whole kind of mystery hit its head and started. I walked into the hospital and I did not walk out.
Wow. Okay, I want to come back to that, but first I just, something triggered me wanting to know, as a 12-year-old. How does a 12-year-old understand and wrap their arms around this happening to them? I mean, 12's young.
12's young. 12-year-old, she didn't wrap her head around what was going on. I had like half of what I needed in my body to function, so I was not functioning. For multiple years, I was at like half-scale function and performance of, I wasn't going to school, couldn't participate in any sport, anything, so she wasn't dealing with it. It took quite a while to get to a point to reflect and be like, oh, wow. That was kind of a big deal. That was a lot to work through. Going through that all again now, you don't really think about it when you're in it. You can't. You can't really take that moment to pause and say like, wow, this is hard, because then if you did do that right in the moment, you would stop. You kind of freeze up. So once you're out of it, then you can kind of go back and say, wow,
this is my reality.
This is real.
She's Mia Armstrong. She's joining the CJ Silas Show. She's an advocate. She's an activist. She's just a badass. And we're talking about her story as a competitive dancer who basically had to stop everything about 6 years ago. When this happened and you had to kind of figure it all out, do you have brothers and sisters? What was the family dynamic like 6 years ago when this whole thing started going on?
I had an older brother. He was 6 years older than... Not had. I said had. He's still here, alive and well.
Good, you have a sense of humor, too. That's good. You kept
that. He was graduating high school. So I really kind of took the thunder of, like, he graduates and it's this big deal, and I'm also passing out, throwing up while he's graduating, sick, and taking all of that away. So, sorry, Colby, if you're listening.
Colby, we love you. You're the best big brother ever.
Oh, yes. And then my mom worked for herself. She has her own business. She's ran it for 30 years. Was her everything. I worked it with her. I would go set up. She's an event designer. So I would set up. Everyone who knew her knew me. And then this all kind of took over. So not only was it impacting a mother, but her entire business had to shift and change to caring for me.
So now 6 years later, this May, it really hits you. Now you're in a wheelchair.
Yes.
And you went from a competitive dancer for years, huge competitions, success, thriving in life. How does a young person wrap her head around? How do you... Embrace is the wrong word. How do you accept what has happened to you, or do you not? What's your frame of mind at this moment?
The frame of mind I've taken on that a lot of people come and say like, wow, you've been so inspirational and accepting all of these challenges that come and dealing with everything so well. And of course, it's great to hear that and have people say, what they mean by that sentiment. But also, what else am I supposed to do? What else? How am I supposed to just not deal with it? Am I supposed to just give up? No, you've you find what works and you make do with your new situation. So as much as you do emotionally deal with it, you've also just got to be like, this is it. I can either be bummed about what I can't do, or it'll be a lot easier if I just start figuring out what I can do.
How do you stay positive?
You don't. Well, you kind of do.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes you do, but you have to honor the times that you don't and allow that to be there and recognize the importance of feeling that, like, defeated emotion, because with anyone who knows what chronic illness is like, you know what it's like to go to a doctor and have them say, oh, great news, your labs are fine. You're all good to go. And then you're like, but I'm not good to go. I still don't feel good. So you feel defeated time and time again. You feel alone. You're your only advocate, and my mom. But it's just you. And when you're all alone like that, you've got to say, like, okay, I can either sink or swim. Sink or thrive at this point too. So
wow, Mia Armstrong's joining the CJ Silas Show. If you want to read about her story, you can go to the New Times recently. A competitive athlete crashing and breaking down just 6 years ago, and then really losing most motor control this May, joining the CJ Silas Show. Women making waves.
Yeah.
I saw that on your Instagram, and I thought, you know what, this is kind of an empowering crew.
Absolutely.
And now, are you involved with them? Is this one of those entities that keeps you feeling positive? How are you involved with them?
Yes, definitely. So the woman who runs it, her name is Tyler, and I met her through Instagram. We connected a few months ago, really not long at all. Kind of started when I made my Instagram page. And they had this community event they were putting on, and I went to it just to make a lot of good connections with the women involved with that organization, to really just say, okay, we're here to build connections, to fully allow you to be whoever you need to be. We will accept that and give you everything we have as well. So it's made a lot of happy connections.
And then you have this super handsome dude sitting next to you.
Absolutely,
and I know
star.
that you talked about him a little bit in the article. And tell us about the relationship you have with, and I'm not going to make you go on the radio because we didn't prep you for that. But why don't you tell me a little bit about your boyfriend?
With the surfer lifeguard boyfriend. So I met Jack. His name is Jack. When I moved here I moved here 3 years ago, and then I met him about 2 years ago through some friends who pretty much just said, let's go out surfing. And then he showed up in the water, too.
Oh, my gosh. And now here you are.
And
oh
now
my gosh.
here we are.
He's obviously a big supporter of yours as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's enough to be in a teenager relationship in high school and then college, and then, now one of them's not walking. And
right.
That's a big dynamic shift.
Yeah, it sure is. And it shows resilience of not just him, but what you can do together. It kind of probably forces you to grow up a little faster, too, right?
Just a little. Just a little.
We have someone who's calling in and wants to talk to you. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I have a feeling I know it is. But if you want to find her on Instagram, she's an incredible follow. There's so much about Mia Armstrong that is empowering and thriving and positive and optimistic and joyful. It's Mia's, MIAS, disability with an disability and then .tea, like the drink. So it's Mia's disability, but there's a dot between missability and T. So it's easy to find. All you have to do is search there's nobody like you on Instagram.
Because it's the tea. We're spilling the tea, keeping it young and fun.
It's the best. Hello. I hear that you're calling in and you want to talk to Mia. Hold on a sec. She needs a headset. Hold on. Mia needs a headset. 1 sec. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
She can hear you.
All right. Mia, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, she can.
Hi, Mia. It's Amy from the Avila Bay Club.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. You know what? I was on my way home in all this traffic. I'm listening to the CJ Silas Show, and one of my favorite people, Miss Mia, is on the radio. You are so inspirational and amazing.
Thank you. You are so sweet, and thank you for helping make this connection happen and everything you do at Avila. You've seen the whole journey I've been on of working with Barb. Yeah. We have to mention my trainer, Barb.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For
Yay,
sure.
Barb.
Yay, Barb. And everything we've been able to do at Avila has been super, super helpful and a huge part of all of my journey.
Amy Kiefler.
Well, I tell you, though, you come in the club and you just light up the club, and you just are an inspiration to all of us there at the club.
Amy Kiefler is from the Avila Bay Athletic Club and Spa. You've heard her on the Amy and CJ show here at the CJ Silas show on ESPN. When you first met Mia, Amy, now that you're here with us on the phone, I remember you sending me a message about her. What was the first thing that really affected you by the woman that you were seeing and meeting that first time?
You know, she is just a light. I tell you, Mia, you are just a light. When I first met her, it was with her mom. She sat down at the desk and said, hey, you know, we need to have some intervention here. We need to get stronger. We need to continue on. We're not sure where we're all going here. And that was it a year ago, Mia? I don't know. Actually, with COVID and all, I forget how long ago. But I tell
we had come in May. We came straight from the hospital the day after we got back into town.
Yep.
We came into Avila.
Came right over. And, you know, you and your mom so wise in knowing the importance of keeping strong and keeping positive. And I tell you, you inspire me, you inspire everyone. Because, you know, there's people like me that don't have the hardships that have, gone through, the things that you've gone through. I can't even imagine. And, when I'm whining about my back that's hurting, it's like, what the heck, Amy? Come on. You are amazing, and I just adore you.
When you went to the Bay Club, so Amy, Mia's talking about when she came home from the hospital, that was in May of this year when she lost all of her motor control. What was your goal when you walked into the Avila Bay Athletic Club that day?
Literally anything that made me happy again. I would go to the gym, listen to a true crime podcast, hang out, run, because that was what I liked to do. And now, obviously, I couldn't run. I had no direction of, I wasn't lifting weights, wasn't really my thing. So I had to find a trainer, first off, who could tell me. I just want someone to tell me what to do so I could at least get back on a better path. And then at that point, too, I'm going to have to start pushing myself around. So that was a whole new journey to get into.
Amy, I just want to thank you for connecting Mia and myself, because this has been such a cool, special friendship that's beginning, and you were the catalyst. Another amazing thing about the Avila Bay Athletic Club.
No, it's just great people coming together, and it's been wonderful to connect, and we'll continue to connect more and continue all of our journeys.
All right, sister, I'm going to see you this weekend. I think we have a date.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
all right,
girl.
Cool. Love you.
Happy
Love you,
holidays.
Mia.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Amy Kiefler from the Avila Bay Athletic Club and Spa. She sent me a message. She says, you've got to meet this woman. And I work out there. I work out a lot of places, but the Avila Bay Club is really where I'm, most loyal. And I think that for everyone, and there's a lot of kids that come in and out of there, and there are a lot of people of all ages that are going to see you, and they're going to be inspired by your journey and your positivity and your radiance. And I hope that this is not the first time that you come into the CJ Silas Show studio. I want to have you share your journey with us as often as possible, your successes and even your failures, because I think someone like you with the most incredible positive attitude, even though you can't have it every day, let's be real. I'm sure there are days you wake up and you're like, this sucks.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
But to what you can do as an activist, what you can do as a woman, what you can do as a role model and a mentor for young women, young boys, anybody in a chair or not. It's pretty incredible. And I think I saw where you said, there's nothing wrong with saying that I'm in a wheelchair. What was that?
Oh.
What was that about?
People get a little iffy about the word disability sometimes. Okay. They're like, you're differently abled. And it goes back to disability means the root word means not and without. I am without the ability to walk or without any other ability to describe someone else. It's a descriptor. It's not a derogatory term. It can be used that way, which is where some of the negative connotation comes from. But it's not. I am a person with a disability. I am lacking the ability to use my legs. It's interesting how you can see some people tense up at their almost using the word, and then you can tell that they maybe don't want to say that word in front of you. And it's very much like, it's not. It's a describer. It's not the only thing, just like I have many, many other describers. But that's just one of them.
It's interesting because I'm older, obviously much older, and I remember when I was a kid, we didn't see many wheelchairs out in the world because it was a different time.
Right.
And now it's a little more usual, but I think kids still freak out. Little kids, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Kids do, definitely. And a huge thing that I've noticed is I have worked closely with quite a few kids. I nannied with some kids and friends with lots of little ones. And sometimes if a young kid is like, Mom, why is she in a chair? Or Mom, what's wrong with her? The parent can be the one who seems to have a bit more of a negative reaction of, shh, don't say that, don't ask, don't say what's wrong with her. Well, it's often coming from a young child who literally does not know. They are probably genuinely concerned and just wondering. If they've never seen someone or have a close friend or family member who is in a chair or does have a visible disability, then they can just be asking. And oftentimes what I want to say to that parent is it's okay for them to ask, and it's even more okay for you to have them ask me. Why don't, as a parent, the best thing you could probably do in that situation is say, oh, I don't know, maybe you should ask her. And then it gives me the autonomy to tell you if I'm feeling up to it. Or if it's a kid, I can often say, it's because I'm a mermaid. I'm off land today. Sorry.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. She's Mia Armstrong. You can find her. Her Instagram is miasdisabili.t. miasdisabili.tea. And she's an incredible human. We're so lucky to have you in our area because I think you're going to really change the world. Not just for you in your own space, being positive and proactive and empowering yourself in your situation, but with people who can learn from you and look up to you, and you can create awareness. And it's just being on the show, yeah. I'm already learning. Cool.
Awareness is the biggest thing. A lot of time people, of course, they would love to have everyone included at every event and happening and at restaurants and at anywhere you want to go, but sometimes you just don't think of it. And it's not that the city doesn't want to include disabled people often. It's they are often not thought about and it's put off. So hopefully bringing some awareness to everything will just say, hey, we are still here. We are still just as important as you and can go to the beach and can go and want to go to restaurants and bars and anywhere over here that all the fun kids want to go to. I mean, I can't even get around Cal Poly. So,
wow. Yeah, that's tough.
Hopefully they can start seeing the need and that changes like this will bring.
And you're doing it different because people do try to be advocates for certain things, but you're doing it with such a gracious, positive outlook. You're not angry. And I mean, there are moments of anger, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But you're not portraying it when you're talking to me, when you've been interviewed, obviously at the Avila Bay Club. And so I think that sometimes when we open our heart to share our story, it's received better. It's received in an open-hearted way as well. In fact, you sent me a text today, what do I need to bring when I come to the studio? And I just said, your amazingness and your open heart, because that's what we're sharing with people. That's what we're trying to empower people with, is the knowledge. So, and I wanted to also tell people that you can find Mia and more women that are amazing at women.making.waves on Instagram as well. And I'm going to make you come back in. Well, no, I'm going to request you come back in, okay? And I want to keep following your story.
Yes.
And I'm just so thankful for you both for coming into the studio.
Thank you for having me.
And it's courageous. And this is what we need. We need people to talk about it. We need people to share. And we need people to understand that there are a lot of people that don't walk.
And a lot of people who just want to go on the beach.
Yes!
That's kind of the biggest thing here of trying to get a beach access mat in Pismo.
Yes.
City just spent all that money on the brand new pier and everything, and you can't get across the ocean or to the ocean across the sand. Yeah. So working on that.
I'm pretty sure you're going to do it. And anything the CJ Silas Show can do, you'll let me know. We'll talk off air because this is just the beginning of a new sisterhood.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night.
You too. She's Mia Armstrong. I'm going to give you her Instagram one more time because it's just so delightful. MIAS, Mia's Disabili, DISABILI.TEA. Oh my goodness. And I'm hoping that if you were listening to the show live, please share this part of my show and my podcast with others, because this woman is going to change the effing world. It's a CJ Silas show. I appreciate you listening, and we will continue to be the change on ESPN Radio 1280 AM and FM 101.7, The Ticket.
Now, back to the CJ Silas Show on ESPN Radio 1280, The Ticket.
Welcome back to the CJ Silas Show. Wow, such an inspirational story talking to Mia Armstrong. And you still have time to get in your sports thankful list. All you have to do is go to Instagram, comment on the Instagram feed, and we will put your name in the hopper to win CJ Silas Show merchandise. I need to send this guy some CJ Silas Show merchandise. This is the head odds maker at MyBookie, Rafael Esparza, joining the CJ Silas Show. Pretty much, he's a family member of the CJ Silas Show at this point in our careers. I need to send you a shirt or a hat. I can't believe I haven't yet.
I'm actually upset right now. I didn't know you have merch. I would be flaunting that merch down the strip on a Saturday night after a fight night. I would be totally blowing that up.
Okay, hold on when we're done with the interview, and I'm going to get your address, and I'll send you a T-shirt or a hat or both, okay?
Score.
It's Thanksgiving week. Somebody said something funny today. How long are we going to be so loyal and put the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving? Shouldn't they earn it? Shouldn't teams earn the chance to be on the day of the triple header when everyone's sitting at home watching football? How do we get rid of the Lions, Roth?
Well, we make the turkeys watch the Lion game, so they're so depressed that they don't mind being put in the oven. I think that's why the Lions are on the first game every Thanksgiving Thursday.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. The good news for the West Coast people is they're at the turkey trot or trying to get their exercise in while the Bears-Lions are playing tomorrow morning. What about prop bets for that game that really only people in Chicago and Detroit care about?
You can bet on the highest scoring team on Thanksgiving. The Lions are 10-1. Do you really think they're going to put up a lot of points on that game? So it should be interesting. You said it's a really early game. I think the Detroit Lions win this game because we had odds with the Detroit Lions going to be their first win of the season, and everybody bets Chicago on Thanksgiving. So if that happens, I might be asking you for a job at the station.
All right, then I don't need to give you a shirt or hat because you'll just earn one for being one of my staff members. What do you think of that?
Nice.
Okay, we're going to get you one, though. We really are. Second game, Dallas hosting the Raiders of Las Vegas. I saw the over-under is the highest of the three games tomorrow, 51.5 points. Expecting a lot of scoring in that game. And Dak Prescott, really, if you look at the six quarterbacks that are starting tomorrow, he's the best one on the field, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had that prep at who's going to have the most passing yards on Thanksgiving Thursday, and everyone's picking Dak Prescott. And he opened up at 3-1. Now he's 2-1. Josh Allen actually opened up as the favorite, but Prescott jumped over that. And I have a feeling it's going to happen. Saints had a bad defensive game last week, so I think they played better at home against Buffalo. So I think Dak Prescott putting up big numbers, and I think they cover that number. I think the Cowboys win easily.
What's the number, the line in the Vegas Cowboys?
7.5, and the total's 51.
And the Bears-Lions, who's the favorite in that, Lions?
The Bears are the favorite at -3, and the total's 41.5, which is going to be my waistline after I'm done eating tomorrow.
The third game of the day, which to me is the most interesting, is Buffalo playing in New Orleans. I saw that the over-under in that game is 45.5 points. What else is interesting coming out of that game?
I mean, we took most of prop bets because it was announced about an hour ago that the Saints are going to be missing a lot of key guys. So if this one's going to be the late game, I still think Buffalo wins this one, but I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game. So if you're tired from eating all that food and you're getting ready for your third helping, maybe you should take a nap on this one. Or maybe turn the TV on to watch the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State.
Is that on tomorrow as well?
4:30 your time.
I'm so bad that I didn't know that. He is Rafael Esparza, head odds maker at MyBookie. You can bet anything. Well, not your human children or your pets, but anything, anywhere, anytime. They have welcome bonuses and referral bonuses, and he's the best, Rafael Esparza, joining the CJ Silas Show. I saw that you had some NFL Sunday ticket odds for who's going to get Sunday ticket after the 2022 season, and I'm looking at that list, and I didn't know what it was, but what's Pornhub?
So it's an adult site today. I finally found out what it was today. I didn't know what that was either. It's a very popular site for the for college kids probably use it a lot. But so 5,000 to 1 for Pornhub to get the NFL Sunday ticket, which I heard they have very, very deep pockets.
Stop it. Who has the best odds?
Disney plus 150, and Amazon they bought the rights for NFL Thursday, I think, starting next year. But keep an eye out, Warner Media and HBO Max. I would not be shocked if they try to put in some big coin to try to get the NFL Sunday ticket.
I know we're focusing on the NFL, but I do want to switch gears a little bit and talk about Cincinnati football. People are talking a lot about them right now because they're in that top 4 going to the postseason if they stick it out and stay playing this strong. They play East Carolina on Friday. How do you see the Bearcats this week?
I mean, they're on the road. They had a very impressive win last week against SMU, but that was at home. Now they travel to East Carolina, who have won 4 straight, covered both 4 of those games. They play great defense at home. This one's going to be a nail-biter. I have Cincinnati squeaking out another close victory, but I have Cincinnati going down in their conference championship against Houston. So everyone thinks that they should make it to the playoffs. I think they lose a game, and then that's when the craziness happens, because I think Oklahoma loses this week to Oklahoma State. Could we really see Notre Dame get back in there? So I think the chaos starts not this week, but next week.
What are you doing for the holiday tomorrow? I know you're probably working most of the day, but is somebody in the household cooking?
Well, I'll be working and try to escape over to my neighbor's house for a plate. But like I said, I have 3 games in NFL, 2 games in college football, and I have, I think, 18 games in college basketball. So I'll be a full range of watching sports all day long.
Well, you're the best. At least, hopefully, you'll get a delicious plate. Have a nice, relaxing, well, I can't even say that to you because it's such a busy time for you is the fall. We appreciate you here on the CJ Silas Show. And hold on, because I really do want the interns to get your address so I can send you some CJ Silas Show merch.
Thanks, and have a safe Thanksgiving and a great week.
He's so funny and good at what he does. I have to remember. Guys, remind me to send Rolf some merch, a T-shirt or something. Oh, okay. I only have a couple minutes. Let's pick the name because we got to do the contest first. Here, AJ. Why would I call you EJ? AJ, pick one. Hold on. AJ's going to pick a name. This is from the Thanksgiving one. Hold on. The microphone is right next to you, right next to Rolf. It's on, so don't cuss and tell me whose name that is. He's unfolding it. Here he comes. This is all, drum roll. Da 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 da.
Do I say that? All right. Larry McCoy.
All right. Larry McCoy? Yes. At Larry McCoy, is that his Instagram?
No, at RealMC66.
Okay, at RealMC66. Congratulations! You're a winner! We will email you. Someone will. I better keep that because someone will send you a message. Oh, who will? Rachel. On social. She'll send you a direct message. You'll pick a T-shirt, a hat, a Kobe poster, a Laker poster. Na. Yay. Congratulations. Thank you. We have a contest every month. So listen in next week for our contest for December. This segment of the CJ Silas Show is brought to you by dentist Dr. Daniel Lapidus and Larry Ackerman, 805-543-7993. They have advice for all athletes, whether you're a weekend warrior or you're a serious athlete, high-level fitness. Always wear proper-fitting mouth guards when participating in your favorite sports because dental health plays an integral role in your overall well-being. The Cal Poly Sports Update, men's basketball lost at Santa Clara. They're at the SoCal Challenge. Then they lost to Nicholls State. And then today, and that was an overtime, and then today they played and beat Idaho. Kyle Colvin, my gosh, 28 points, 10 rebounds. I think Ali Karoma got into foul trouble kind of early. It was right here on ESPN Radio 1280. They're 2-4 on the season now, and they are next up. They've got a little time off, and they're playing at Cal Baptist. Football lost to Northern Arizona. Matt Shotwell ends his storied, historic, amazing career with 12 tackles, 5 solos, 345 career tackles at Cal Poly. This year at 127, he's number 4 on the all-time list at Cal Poly. They finished their season 2-9 overall, 1-7 in Big Sky. Volleyball lost to Hawaii, who was in first place in the Big West at their final home match of the year. Next up, this weekend, they're at Irvine and at San Diego. Women's basketball, I went to the game last night. It was so nice to be inside Mott Athletic Center with people and it was just cool. I still sat far away from everyone, but I didn't care. They took on number 10 Louisville. They lost. John Smith's daughter, Kiana Smith, had 11 points and 4 assists for the Cardinal, the highest-ranking team to ever come and play at Mott. Next up, they're in a Holiday Classic this weekend, the women's team, and it's all free, hosting St. Thomas on Friday and Montana State on Saturday. Thanks for listening to the CJ Silas Show. Have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy the food, the family, the fun, and the football. We will be back next week with more NFL. I'm going to turn off my mic now. Make an appointment to listen every Wednesday night or find the podcast.
Thanks for listening to the CJ Silas Show. Find her podcast on the CJSilasShow.com. Follow her on all social media platforms, including her YouTube channel. Make an appointment to listen every Wednesday on ESPN Radio 1280 AM and FM 101.7. CJ out.